Have you ever spoken to someone who's pretty stuck in their own worldview of things? They have a preconceived idea of how the world might work, and no one's really challenged that or made them try to think a little bit differently. One of my favorite pastimes is shattering those preconceptions. And I got to do that a few times as a South African who traveled to South Korea to teach English. Just being in South Korean as someone who's different, because there's not a lot of diversity in South Korea. It's South Koreans speaking South Korean and looking South Korean. You okay, Mika? What was I saying? So really, there's a plethora of differences. My skin tone, my curly hair, there were so many factors about my culture and existence that was different. And it was nice to see a keen appreciation for those things. I was asked so many questions, people took a genuine intrigue. It was a fantastic cultural exchange that I benefited from, and so did my students and colleagues. But one of the things I really enjoyed doing was showing off my home country of South Africa through pictures, through media, through anything. Because to them, Africa was people in huts. What's South Africa? Is that even a country? It's just south of Africa. Nope, they had no idea. And that's understandable in a way. So it was my job to give them a bit of education. Quite literally. So I showed them pictures of South Africa, and I started with the natural beauty. The beaches, the mountains, the town life, all of those things. And they really loved it. They saw blue water, they saw clean beaches, they saw amazing wildlife. And they asked me why the hell I was here. Why are you in South Korea? And in my opinion, South Korea is beautiful in its own way, but I think if you grow up somewhere, you become accustomed to the natural beauty of places. Another thing that really took them by surprise was my house, because it was a middle class house. It wasn't anything crazy. There was a garage, there was a pool, a nice garden, and a few rooms. But in Korea, that is luxury, especially where I was teaching, because it was apartment on apartment on apartment. There was literally only apartment blocks in the city, and that's the only housing you could really get. Because in my area, living conditions weren't the greatest, just in terms of space and how much you'd have to pay to get space. So seeing this middle class house, the students were like, "You live in a mansion, you are royalty. Why, again, why are you in South Korea? Are you in trouble? Are you running away from your parents?" But what really, really shattered and confused them is when I showed them the wildlife. And I'm not talking about the lions or the elephants or anything like that. I'm talking about one of our beach creatures. Their worldview shattered when I showed them pictures and videos of the penguins of South Africa. These are jackass penguins, and these are the penguins that are native to South Africa. I say jackass because that is their name, but it's because of the call they make. Their cry literally sounds like a donkey. It goes, eh, 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 eh. They're extremely cute and lovely wildlife that you can find in South Africa. This was particularly shot by myself at Boulders Beach, where it's just penguins chilling. A lot of people will see this scene and be confused. I think especially the kids, because Africa has a connotation of being extremely hot, you know? You think of the middle of Africa, which is Congo, Rwanda, Ethiopia, areas like that, which are extremely warm and deserty. And then you think penguins. And penguins are supposed to be cold. Penguins are supposed to be where there's ice. And there is no ice in South Africa. That information was too much for the kids, and they thought I was a charlatan. But I hope that made your day a little bit. Anyway, everyone, cheers, and I'll see you next time.